What's up, big dogs? Today, it is the final day of 12 days of best ball, and I have brought in my buddy, Nick Ercolano. We did a mock draft on his channel the other day. Today, we are going to draft for $1 million in Best Ball Mania. We're also going to give away our final underdog hat, so keep a lookout for the chat and the form that will be placed in there. Let's do it, guys. Best ball season is winding down.
Bro, I'm telling you, hop in these drafts when these idiot streamers are trying to draft and talk to the chat at the same time. It's so plus EV, bro.
Oh no, I think I accidentally just took Kenyon Drake and Josh Jacobs. What do we call that? A no-no.
No way, you don't have to set your lineup. That's incredible. And recently eclipsed 23%, and I'd much prefer it to be in the more 21 to 22% range.
Nick Ercolano, how are we doing this morning?
Pete, that intro was the worst piece of shit I've ever seen.
What's up, big dogs?
So accordingly, I take pride in my mug collection, and this one was specifically for you, for how you're acting already. It's 11 a.m.
This is the real mug collection right here this morning.
Yo, what's he been up to this summer? I haven't heard a lot of noise and chatter out of his camp.
Get the fluff out of here, Nick. He got COVID. I haven't been watching his Instagram content as much lately. I kind of fell out of love with the counselor, which it happens. I mean, a year of kind of grinding his stories, 2 years, 3 years, and doesn't do it for me anymore, Nick.
Jeez, Pete. This is a sad way to start off the episode.
I
got COVID. I'm sure it didn't even affect him.
No, he's a lion. When you're a lion, COVID just kind of bounces right off of you.
Fuck yeah. I'm gonna look him up after this, do some research. He actually blocked me on Instagram a couple of years ago, so I haven't been able to see what he's. Yeah, I'm not really sure why, actually. I'm gonna follow up. I'll get his email or something and start I'm just gonna send him an email that just said why with like 37 whys.
I thought he had thick skin. I wouldn't have pegged him as a blocker. He strikes me as one of those all engagement is good engagement guys.
I mean, that's what he's built his brand on, but I guess we hit too close to home on something. I probably did something like real ratchet and annoying, and I probably deserve to be blocked.
All right, we are going to hop in a Best Ball Mania draft here on Underdog. I only got about 15 more bullets in this tournament, and I have a feeling that Nick is going to strong arm me into some running backs today. I got bullied by Evan Silva on the randomizer draft last night, and I'm in a very submissive mood, Nick, so you can just talk me into anything, apparently.
Whoa, $223 in the account?
I know.
I need your accountant's number. We're talking big bucks over here. Yeah, you had Silva on last night, right?
Yeah. He didn't love the kind of the premise and the concept of the randomizer. He didn't like the idea that you had to do what the wheel said, and he just kind of steamrolled me into drafting whoever he wanted.
Well, I'm in a shitty mood, but I feel like it's not too hard to top his enthusiasm. Like all I do is shoot a smile every now and then, and I'm happier than Evan is.
That's right. That's why you got that YouTube smile there. You just flash it. The subs come in, the super chats come in. That's how you do it.
Let's fucking go. I'm ready for this. All right, so this is a Mania, right? 25.
Yep.
Lion?
This is I'm gonna name this team when we're done. It's the Pete and Ercolano draft. You get a share at $1,001,001 on this team.
That's the name of our draft. Pete and Ercolano.
I mean, that's probably going to be too many characters. I think there is a limit there. I might have to abbreviate it a bit.
1-6. Is there a worse draft pick in fantasy football this year than the 1-6?
You know what? 1-6 sucks. Great for content though. Plenty of time to talk in between picks. No frantic picks from the 1-6.
All right. Since you're a wide receiver guy, is Adams the play here, or do you like to go with Kelsey because the upside, the positional advantage at tight end, we have it there with Kelsey at the 1-6?
Yeah, I mean, I like both of those guys. Sometimes, like, because the rooms don't like Kittle, like sometimes Kittle will fall to the mid third. That's probably a little bit of a stretch. So I was thinking, if you take Kelsey, you don't want to you're going to have to pass on Kittle if he falls. So sometimes I think it makes sense to get the wide receiver. I split it. I want the Ercolano flavor on this draft. So I want your favorite of kind of the Adams, Kelsey, Hill group here.
All right. I'm gonna wait till I'm on the clock to make this. I'm gonna let you know who I want with 4 seconds left. Where on the clock?
People love seeing my my frantic fingers. So Zeke does go. So this is a nice sweet spot here for these guys.
Yeah, I guess we'll go with Adams. I just really am not a fan of going with a tight end in the first round, regardless of. There's not really an advantage to be had here because it's not tight end premium or anything. And I feel like the fact that it is best ball and we can draft 2 or 3 tight ends, they're not going to play up to Kelsey's level, but like it kind of zaps out a little bit of the positional advantage because you get the best of. So I don't know. I don't really like taking the tight end in the first round if we're shooting upside, if we're doing the mania, if we're in a regular 10 or 12 team league. It's just not my doesn't sink my submarine.
Yeah, and I would say the one kind of dynamic that's changed over the past like week or so is that not like the super sleeper tier of tight end, but the late round sleeper, basically the Irv Smith, the Evan Ingram, like that tier has really been wiped out. So there's not as many options there, but you have the kind of the Waller Kittle, you got the Pitts range, you got the Andrews Hawkinson range, there's the Logan Thomas Fant Higbee range. So as long as I think you're getting, 1 to 2, at least one of those kind of 9 to 10 guys, I think you're fine.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think Evan Ingram was back at practice in full pads yesterday, actually. So he's kind of back there. But on that point, though, the mid-round tight ends got a little bit more enticing with like Hawkinson because we have Perriman getting cut. Yeah. We have the Kyle Pitts looked great in preseason. Mark Andrews because Baltimore's receiving core is all kind of fucked up. So I feel like those mid-round guys where you can grab them in the 5th, 6th, 7th got a little bit stronger, and I feel a little bit better with them as our starting tight ends.
Yeah, that's good to know about Ingram. Dude, this is wild. Normally, Diggs and Ridley are reversed here. Normally, you have to take Diggs in the first. You get Ridley coming back. He flipped it and still got both.
Okay,
that's funny.
What we got here.
All right, I want the Nick pick here. So we got Najee goes. We got Metcalf, Mixon, Waller, Brown, Jefferson, CEH. What are you liking?
I kind of want to grab a running back here.
Is Mixon your guy or CEH?
I would take Mixon over CEH if we're gonna do that. Yeah. Let's go with Mixon here. I feel like I don't know. Mixon and Harris kind of feel like the same exact player to me this year going into it. Like they'll play 85% of their team snaps. They'll get all the work pretty much. And they both have terrible offensive lines. They both have like 3 great pass catchers on their offense. I feel like they're both floor plays, and maybe that's not where you want to go in a tournament like this. But I feel pretty safe with Mixon as the RB1. He'll get RB1 volume. I don't know if he has the upside that everyone keeps talking about him having. This upside that he can catch 60, 70 passes. I don't know where that fits into this offense, but I feel like he'll end up his range of outcomes. I don't think is really that wide this year. I think he'll finish somewhere between like RB8 and RB13. I don't think he has top 5 upside just because I don't think he can flirt with 60 to 70 receptions like most of I feel like we're going to look back and someone on the Bengals depth chart is going to piss us off. Like Samaje P. Ryan's going to get way more carries than he should, or something like that's going to happen. But I feel comfortable with Mixon as an RB1.
Yeah, I agree. I think that guy who could actually be the issue more than P. Ryan might be Chris Evans, because we've just seen in years past where, it was Gio forever, where they just didn't want to give Mixon all the pass work. It seems like they like Chris Evans, but I feel like Mixon is kind of a light version of Zeke, where I'm not super high on Zeke, the player. You're betting on that offense and that it's just so good that he falls in the end zone 20 times. I feel like that's the thing with Mixon. Like if this offense is super good, he could just fall in the end zone 15 times.
Yeah, but do you really believe the Bengals offense is going to be super good?
I really need it to be. I have so much of the passing game.
You're not giving them a choice. I respect that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. Like this offensive line is not going to be that good. I'm a little bit worried about Burrow too, with all the reports. Coming back from the ACL, it's not an easy thing, man. I know we see some superheroes do it quickly, but like it's a mental game, it's a physical game. And Chris Evans, great prospect. Yeah, I feel like he's going to have an underrated role as well this year. Okay, so we're on the clock here.
Did we draft A-Rob last time? He's a pretty nice value here at 3.6. What do you think?
Fuck, bro. They squeezed everything off the board here. I'm gonna do something that you're gonna disagree with here. I like Chris Carson.
Oh my God. We can wait on Chris Carson, I think.
Okay, fine. Let's go with
quick.
Yeah. We'll take Robinson there.
So the only thing is, because I do think when you're in this room here so we're at pick 30 and taking Carson at pick 38, when a lot of times these rooms just don't like these running backs, and you can basically have your choice of which one you're going to get at like a 5 or 6 pick value. Whereas I think Robinson's at the end of a wide receiver tier there. And then we can come back and we have chances to get a Carson, a Swift, or whatever at a discount if we want.
Yeah, I get it. I think if you look at all the wide receivers that go off the board right now, my choice, if we can go back and I would actually pay attention for the fucking first time ever, would probably be Amari Cooper, because I think he presents a ceiling that these other wide receivers, in my opinion, just don't really do anything for your team. They don't move the needle. They're all like middle wide receiver 2s that are going to average 12 fantasy points per game, and they're great. But like, if you wait until the 6th round, like how many more points is I don't know, Tyler Lockett going to average in Jerry Jeudy this year? Maybe like 2 half PPR fantasy points per game. Whereas I feel like, because the trend has been to fade running backs into the 3rd or 4th round now, I think Chris Carson has a lot more upside. Like, I think if he hits, his upside to your team is so much more substantial than if a Cooper Kupp or a Tyler Lockett or Mike Evans hits. That's just kind of my reasoning behind running back. But
I agree. I think the Lockett Jeudy point is a very good one. I do think Allen Robinson's different in that we've seen him be an alpha wide receiver, and now he could have the best quarterback of his life. And I feel like there's upside there that we haven't fully seen yet, just because we've never seen him with a great quarterback.
That's fair. Yeah, if Justin Fields gets on the field. All right.
So I lied. Sorry, Carson didn't come back.
You motherfucker. Let's go. Let's see. I kind of want to sit on Julio. Man, I hate how these drafts go now. Give me
I like Higgins. I like Pitts.
Give me Ayuk.
Okay, let's do Ayuk.
Dude, you're so smart. You just hit the queue. Like, I always try to click the guy and then hit the draft button on the bottom, and I miss on it every single time.
Yeah, you got to go with the star.
You're so
there.
Fucking smart. It's incredible.
You do a bunch of these. Guys, I'm going to post a link in the chat here in the second. It's our final hat giveaway here today. The Underdog Fresh Steezy Underdog hat with the Club Top Shot colors. Only way to get it is in the giveaway. Thank you to the good people at Underdog Fantasy.
Can I win that?
I'll send you a link to get one.
Fuck yeah. All right. Okay. I really, really like Ayuk. I feel like the arguments against him were that he was, anytime you find yourself arguing against a player because he was just simply too good and there were other things like going on in the background, I feel like it should be a positive. We're like, oh, he was so fucking good last year, but it was only because everybody was hurt. And I'm like, yeah, but like, it's also incredible to see a rookie command the type of targets, receptions, and just production that he had over the second half of the year last year. And anytime I find myself arguing against a player being too good, I tend to realize that I need to buy into that player. I have to run to my door real quick. I'll be back in.
Yeah, go for it. Uh-oh. You guys are on to me. That is my go-to move. Oh, he'll be there. I do it with Spags and I do it with Nick. Oh, he'll be there. Oops, he went.
Let's go. Sorry, I'm like literally the worst person to stream with. I run away from my podcast material all the time. Okay.
No, it's all good. No, we still have a few seconds here. I feel like we had a point earlier this offseason on ship chasing, Nick, where we were doing a draft, like 4 of us. And all of us like either had to go to the bathroom or get a drink, and we just had dead air for just like,
I love doing that. I love like being like throwing out a random topic, like something completely fucking random, and be like, chat, go off.
Yeah.
This fucking topic, and then running out. Okay. Let's see where we're at here. I mean, I like Jeudy. I like Claypool here. I also think we didn't take a tight end, so I don't hate the idea of Andrews in the middle of the 5th. What are your thoughts on a guy like Gus Edwards?
Yeah. So my only thing in this one is like, I have tons of teams in this tournament where I have Gus Edwards in the 12th, 13th round. And so we're competing. Whenever you draft him, you're now competing against much better teams. I do think I like that both Andrews and Hawkinson are still on the board. There's a chance one of them falls to the mid 6th. I will say this is pretty rare. Judy's gotten a ton of steam, both him and Claypool. For them to be here at 5-6, I think is pretty nice.
I like Jeudy more than I like Claypool right now.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Judy's looked great. Bridgewater being their quarterback makes me way more confident because he's a guy who's just dead on accurate in the 1 to 10 yard line when he's throwing those short passes. And like, when you're going to be throwing all of your passes at the line of scrimmage or like on slants, you need a guy who gets open and can separate from his guy really quickly, and that's exactly what Jeudy is. So we see Gus kind of go off the board right after us. Man, there's just not a lot of value to be sucked out here. But I think later on, round 6, round 7, we can start hitting those higher upside running backs. Like, you know, if Javonte Williams falls there, like Chase Edmonds, we can kind of pair up. We'll see if any of the tight ends drop to us too.
And I will say, Nick, normally I'm used to doing these drafts, and they're friends and family drafts with all the people from the Discord and the ship chasers, and the wide receivers get obliterated. That's not this room. I never see Jeudy falling there. Like normally in our rooms, Jeudy would be going like mid to late 4th, and Jamar Chase would be long off the board. Jamar Chase does not make it to the 6th round in my usual drafts.
That's crazy because because they stopped doing slow drafts. So I'd always have like slow drafts going. So I'd get a read on the ADP, and they didn't even, I haven't done one in I guess a couple, in like a week or two. So I haven't seen the Jeudy in the 4th round, but like, I'm not surprised whatsoever. I'm sorry. I have groceries.
You're good. You're good, dude. I mean, if I can't hold down a stream by myself, I mean, I got to shut it down. Andrews and Hawkinson both go. I think I'm going to have to toss Nick an RB bone here. He's not going to, if I try to push him on Visca, I think he's going to lose his mind. I think I can talk. I think hopefully Javonte's here. I feel like Javonte can be where we can both reach across the aisle and feel good about it. I'm giving him the Javonte Williams olive branch here. He'll feel good about it. All right, Antonio Brown goes. I'm putting Javonte Williams in the queue. We'll see if Nick has a take.
I like you like Javonte more than Darrell?
I do, because again, in this tournament, so many teams have Darrell Henderson in the 11th and 12th round.
You're just gonna keep hitting me with that fucking game theory, aren't you? And I'm gonna make the mistake of talking about it every time. Yeah, let's go with Javonte then.
Yeah, it's just very like I think it's really hard. I mean, we're gonna draft, like, our picks from round 13 to 18 are gonna be way better than all the picks of the guys who took Darrell Henderson in the 11th round, because we just have way more information. Like we know that Ollison got cut, Gallman got signed. Those teams don't know it, but I do think when you realize the kind of wide receiver firepower those teams could have early, and now they have Darrell Henderson super late, I would just rather try to build teams away from that and try to win another way.
That's fair. Pete, do you go to the grocery store to get groceries, or you get them delivered?
So we mix it up. My wife does most of our grocery shopping. But yeah, we go in person.
My wife does most of the grocery shopping.
I know, that was so sexist of me.
Somebody clip that. Yeah.
The guy just got canceled.
I can't go to the grocery stores around here because they're just like it's like $4 for an avocado. But if I get them delivered, I can get delivery from like Target or something. So I can get like half the price. And I got used to it during like COVID. So now I just have dudes like coming out. I'm like, I need a fucking dozen eggs. Please get it delivered. Yeah.
Lauren likes going and picking the stuff out. If it were all up to me, I would do total delivery. Like yesterday with Sal, I did that ghost pepper thing. And instead of going and looking for those chips at the store, I just ordered them on Amazon Fresh or whatever and had them delivered because I was incredibly lazy.
Dude, did you think that those were hot?
I did, but I'm like kind of a wimp, but I did find them very hot.
I'm really bad with spicy shit too. And I remember we got the big bag of Pocky chips too. And they were pretty hot, but I'm telling you, dude, like when they first came out, I remember like Shaq did it on like TNT on the NBA show. It was like such a popular thing to do at the time. Just eat the one chip. And me and my friend Steve split one, right? It's literally a bag with one chip in it, and we split it. And it's actually on YouTube somewhere. It was a live stream that we did like 4 years ago, and it absolutely fucking put me in a coffin. It was like one of the most disgusting things I've ever done. So don't do the Pocky challenge.
Yeah, and the people were telling me, or Sal was telling me, that it came in like a little box that was shaped as a coffin. Was how it arrived.
Oh, maybe. I thought when you said that you were joking. Like, I don't even remember seeing that. I think Steve, where he was working at the time, just got a few of the bags in and he like stole it for us. Oh shit, we're on the clock.
What are you seeing here?
Damn, it's tough to pass up Rodgers with the Devontae Adams stack, but I feel like Chase Edmonds is a really good play here at 7-6.
Let's do this. Is a way more running back heavy room, and seeing how much wide receiver here, I'm fine getting Chase Edmonds here. So the thing where I'm at too with this is I think at this point with a Mixon, Javonte, Edmonds, and I have to be pro Chase Edmonds. I was the one who pounded the table to draft him in our main event league last night. I think we're probably just doing one more running back, especially if we get another running back over the next, say, 4 rounds. I think we can stop at 4.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Chase is someone that like I've gone back and forth on. He
Yeah.
was someone that I was nervous going into the draft. Then they didn't really take anybody, and then they signed James Conner. But James Conner, I feel like, is such a high risk to get hurt. And realistically, I mean, I don't know. Chase, I feel like where you're drafting him is, I hate the phrase like that's what his floor is, but he's going to get all the pass catching work in that backfield. And it's almost like Eckler, where if you get a little bit lucky and maybe he does see some goal line carries, maybe he does get some carries inside the 10-yard line, his upside is just so much higher than where you have to draft him. And I mean, he's going to catch 55 passes, 60 passes, no matter what in this offense, because there's no one else back there can really catch passes. So if he does end up being the 3-down workhorse, like Chase Edmonds could easily get inside the top 15, top 12. I just feel like he's explosive. We've seen him do it on an NFL field multiple times. He's never been given like the workhorse role over a long period of time, which is obviously a red flag, but I don't know. In the 7th round, I feel like I can't stop drafting him there now.
Yeah, after we make this pick, I want to keep talking about Edmonds because I do think he's a very interesting part. And I think we played this very nicely because now we just have a ton of really good wide receiver options. We do see the tight ends starting to fly off the board here too. So we might end up going with a 3 tight end strategy late. Which of these wide receivers are your favorite? Gallup looks like a pretty nice value here.
Yeah, I'm with Gallup. Dude, I kind of am starting to like Will Fuller a little bit more too.
You don't have to sell me on Fuller. I love Fuller. You like Fuller over Gallup?
Never mind. Take him off. No. Yeah, grab Fuller. Fuller.
All right. I think we got it in time. We'll see.
Sorry, that was the most annoying shit ever. I don't know why I did that with 3 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, Gallup is normally not there, so I was like, oh, that's nice, just my ADP brain kicking in. But I mean, Fuller is just such a smash. He's the guy we've drafted the most on all of our season-long teams. The fact that he's just routinely there 8th, 9th, 10th round is wild to me.
That's so funny, the ADP brain. It's so true. Like muscle memory never kicks in more than in underdog drafts. Like the amount I have my first like friends draft on Monday, this upcoming Monday. And I don't know like what my brain is going to do, like what circuits are going to fire when the picks are going off the board. I'm going to see players going like 17 rounds later than they need to. I'm going to start yelling at my friends and shit.
The point I wanted to circle back with on Edmonds is I do at cost prefer James Conner, and I've been drafting Conner more, but
really
it's an ambiguous backfield. And normally in the ambiguous backfields, I like the cheaper guy, but let's just say I prefer, James Conner, like, I don't know, 65% of the time at cost to Chase Edmonds. Well, that doesn't mean I draft James Conner 100% of the time. I still want to be taking Edmonds at a 30% clip relative to my confidence level and who's the better value. And so I think that's the trap we get into is like, one's the better value. That means I'm drafting 150 teams. I'm not taking that better value 100% of the time. Like there are many situations where this breaks incredibly well for Chase Edmonds. And when a discount in a draft presents itself, I think you take it.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think there's this like dichotomy in fantasy football where you have to decide if a player like James Conner, for instance, he might be a better value, but like, do you actually want to draft James Conner, or is he just annoying enough to make you not want to draft Chase Edmonds? And I feel like that's like a big decision for a lot of people in fantasy. The same thing with like Wayne Gallman signing to the Falcons. It's like, okay, you think Wayne Gallman presents a threat to Mike Davis, but do you actually still want to draft Wayne Gallman, or does he just ruin Mike Davis for you? And I think that's like a really big decision point. All right, we're back on the clock.
The chat is talking about Pittman, and I love Pittman here. What else do you see here?
So I'm definitely down with Pittman. I do think what could be interesting is if we took Waddle and then we took Tua later in like the 12th or 13th round. I feel like that's a really unique upside stack for a tournament like this that almost no one will probably have.
Yeah. You don't have to twist my arm on a nice Dolphins double stack there. And it is getting a little harder to get Fuller and Waddle together because they go so close. And so we get Waddle here a full 10 picks after ADP, which is definitely the cheap way to get that double stack. And man, we were talking to Sean Siegel the other night. He thinks the Dolphins are like going to just phase out Parker, that he's not really part of their plans. And if Tua is good and that part is correct, and you're getting Fuller and Waddle in an emerging offense, I mean, that's a premium double stack.
I mean, dude, Fuller was so good last year. I had no confidence that he could actually operate as like the alpha. I liked him because he was going to get all the targets, but he was just a baller last year. And Waddle is so dynamic as a playmaker. I could just see those two, just ripping off back to back. Like, Waddle goes for 25 yards. Fuller gets a 17-yard reception, just like chunk play after chunk play after chunk play. Yeah. And Parker, I don't know, man. I feel like Parker is just like he could be the wide receiver 3 there as a possession guy, but I have almost no exposure to Parker because he's a little bit too boring for me. I feel like the other guys have just such high upside.
And it was like Parker represents, the old version of the Dolphins, and they've made a concentrated effort of like, we're going to revamp this offense around Tua, and we're going to draft Waddle, and we're going to, acquire Will Fuller. To me, it's kind of pretty clear that they aren't happy with what their wide receiver room was before.
Okay. I love Jacoby Myers. I don't know if do we want to just keep pounding wide receiver? Like, I feel like we might just break the position.
Pounding wide receiver is always in play. I will also say we haven't taken a quarterback yet. We do have a Lance Ayuk stack option. We later have a Fields and A-Rob situation. I do prefer a couple of these other guys more than Jacoby, but I think Jacoby.
Yeah, no, my show, my pick.
Okay. So the reason now we still have lots of stack options. We have Lance, we have Fields, we have Tua, we have Mac, and we have Bridgewater. So I don't mind waiting on QB just with how many backdoor stack options we have.
Yeah, we have, we're going to have a really interesting quarterback combo. I think as long as we get Tua, I'll feel comfortable with basically everything else that we have here.
Yeah.
What's going on at the tight end position?
The tight end position got wiped out.
Yeah, are we going to be starting Kyle Rudolph over here? Gesicki.
So,
oh man,
we probably triple stack it.
We probably should have taken Gesicki there had I known.
Yeah, it's this is one of those. Again, this room is very different than the usual Best Ball Manias. In that the running backs and tight ends have flown, and it's the wide receivers and quarterbacks that are kind of hanging around. I mean, all these guys are values. Like Elijah Moore was a guy who was getting steamed up going at pick 85 just like a month ago.
Yeah.
His ADP is 106. We're at pick 119 and he's not off the board.
Yeah. I think it's just the combination of when people get so much hype, and then, I mean, Elijah Moore obviously hasn't played in a minute, so you have all this hype dying down because we haven't seen him on the field. And on the contrary, we have Corey Davis ripping it up. Like if Corey Davis went out there and didn't do anything during the preseason, I think people would still be hyped about more. But I feel like you kind of have to sound the alarms on a guy who doesn't play at all during the preseason. We don't really know what his injury status is right now. Like he seems like a guy who went from a 9th, 10th round pick to someone who's a late round pick. If you're in a season long league, I'm probably not drafting him and waiting for him to hit the waiver wire, seeing the snap count rise and then grabbing him. All right. So we just had that run of quarterbacks go off the board real quick.
Yeah. Which is fine. And I do think
it's not fine.
Yeah, it's not. No, I mean, this is done. Let's just rip it up. Yeah, I think the Lance slide now makes sense in light of his injury, in light of it looking less likely that he starts week 1. I still think he's a nice guy to grab, especially when you've made a bet on the offense here. I mean, this guy has 2 tight ends. I'm down to triple stack the Fins if we can get Gesicki here.
Yeah, me too.
There's like sometimes with some of these offenses, I'm more hesitant to do it if they're not a Cowboys or a Bengals, where I think the offense can really go nuclear. But at this price, I think Gesicki, and with our team needs, he's kind of the last of a kind of an upside tier here. I think
he definitely is the last of a tier for me there. As much as I don't really think he's a great tight end. If you look at his like yearly statistics, he has improved year over year. And I guess that's kind of what you want to see. And he just fits the mold of like a downfield explosive playmaker. And if this ends up being just a vertical offense, I mean, you look back at Tua. Tua was one of the most accurate downfield throwers in college. And we have this idea of him being like this safe, shitty quarterback now in the NFL because of last year. But like if he can be whatever he was at Alabama, like this is going to be an offense that probably averages an extremely high ADOT and extremely high yards per reception number. And those are 3 of the dudes that can really pull it off at their positions between Fuller, Waddle, and Gesicki. So I like the route that we're going as long as someone doesn't fucking take to it here.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. Mick is asking all the important questions. Nick, what is fantasy football?
What is a fantasy football? Dude, at this point, I'm ready to quit fantasy football.
Yeah. I know. I just need Nick. I'm shutting it down this weekend. I'm not doing any content. I need one little recharge before the season, man.
Dude, it's impossible. It's like the summer is such a grind, and then you hit week 1, and then you're like, okay, just 5 more months of this. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. We're on Tua snipe watch here. He has Prescott and Winston, so I can't imagine. This guy only has Stafford.
I can imagine. Are you shitting me?
This guy definitely could. This guy is a prime candidate to take Tua. Absolute prime candidate.
My chair is going through the window.
He loves it. He's scared of just having Stafford. He wants Tua so bad.
So bad. Does he have any Miami? He's got no Miami.
Oh, he did do it. We closed the loop.
QB1 Tua.
I love it.
Wow, our team is good.
Look at this.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel good about this team. Like, really.
I like it. It's very, very fun. And I like, there were some scenarios at quarterback and tight end where I think we would have been forced to take 3, but because we were able to grab Gesicki and Tua, I think there are different combos where we'd only have to take 2 positionally and not feel awful.
Hey, if we're in the running at the end of it with this team, we're running it back in Miami.
Running it back in Miami. Let's do it.
Yeah, we're going to watch the last every December game that the Dolphins play. And we're cheering on the entire fucking team.
That would actually be super fun. Yeah, to have a very concentrated sweat where it's just like, yeah, we need the Dolphins to score 50 points weeks 15 through 17.
Dude, I'd lose my shit. That'd be so much fun. That'd be a great piece of content. We'd vlog the whole thing.
Well, that is the thing that, as far as like sweat shows and stuff, like the best piece of gambling sweat content I seen was when Rovell had his like Northwestern futures ticket. Did you remember watching that?
I didn't watch that.
He had like gotten a ticket early in the season, and it was like 100-1 for them to win something or whatever. I barely remember it, but the ticket value increased greatly throughout the course of the season. And then they went on a live stream, and with the sportsbook, they were making him real-time buyout offers of basically being like, your $100 bet is right now worth 60,000, but they were playing Ohio State, I want to say. And so every time there was a score, like they would adjust their offer to him. Like, so do you want to cash it out? Do you want to let it ride? And it was like legitimately engaging content. We need something like that with best ball drafts where we have these real-time values of these teams.
It should be like us negotiating with like the underdog team. Like we get on the phone with Jeremy or something and he's like, you guys cash out your best ball team right now for $11,000. I see that Miami stack.
Yeah, where he like could buy it out and be like, that way, if this team wins, like I've already offset the risk. And I'm
or like someone else can buy it. Like we can buy, like I can buy your team that you drafted with Evan Silva last night. I can cash you out and take over the odds.
No one's cashing us out for that team. Okay, so let's check out what we're working with here. Let
me see the quarterbacks on the board real quick.
Yeah, good call.
Daniel Jones is already off. Wow, Kirk Cousins like really, really getting disrespected, huh?
Yeah, it's the not vaccinated thing. I think everyone's just bracing for the inevitable, missing a couple games.
That's true. Daniel Jones is all the way down there. How do we feel about I guess we already have a bunch of wide receivers. What's going on at the running back position?
Running back, I think James White is nice, and we already have Jacoby, and that could really set us up for a Mac Jones second quarterback too. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm with it if you want.
Let's just take a peek at some other stuff. I do also really like Cole Kmet. We could be done at tight end if we draft him.
Go with whatever you want there. I'm fine with Cole.
Let's go White. I kind of like that Mac double stack if we can get it.
Okay, the Mac double stack. I was gonna say I am. I would have if we were going with another wide receiver. I really like Sterling Shepard this year because Kenny G is like not practicing at all, and I don't. The recent comments are like, we got to take the hamstring slow. I feel like he might not get out there for a few weeks, man. I feel like Kenny G is going to have almost like another lost year, And Daniel Jones loves Sterling Shepard. Evan Ingram's like banged up. So I feel like Shepard could come out and just rip off like 8 targets a game for the first 2 months. And we can have, Daniel Jones is like QB 27 right now too.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I do not get good feelings about Kenny Golladay. The chat reminding us that New England and Miami both have week 14 buys, which actually stinks for a couple reasons, because also if we wanted to tack on a New England tight end, then we're double bye weeks there. So that is not ideal.
When does the mania shit about this start?
So, or what? Sorry, what do you mean?
I don't really know. I just like when does the regular season of the Best Ball Mania stop?
Yeah. So it's weeks 1 through 14, and then the playoffs are 15 through 17. So basically, what happens is, this is why this has been an argument on Twitter with the Best Ball Tournament Bros all summer, is so if you have 2 tight ends that have the same bye week, you're saying in week 14, let's say your tight end averages, 10 points generally from there. So you're giving up 10 points because you're going to take a 0 that 1 week. But to advance to week 15, you need to finish top 2 in your league, which means you're giving up 10 points in the race for weeks 1 through 14. When you look at 10 points over the course of a whole season, honestly, isn't that much. I think it gets to be a little more interesting when you get to quarterback and you're giving up potentially 25 points. So this has been kind of the whole debate. I'm definitely more on, I don't mind rocking 2 tight ends with the same bye. Quarterback, probably a little unnecessary, but I still don't even think it's egregious. Like if you're building a super team, like a lot of my teams that advanced last year won by 200 plus points. Those 25 points don't even matter.
All right, so we can either do that stack where we go Henry, Mac Jones, or we could pivot and do Evan Ingram, Daniel Jones. Like we have 2 plays here.
Yeah. So are you? And I hadn't read the news yet on Ingram. Are you kind of confident that Ingram's going to be all right?
No, I'm not confident whatsoever. Like 0 fucking confidence. Let me see what we can pull.
It does suck getting that. I'm gonna toss in Hunter Henry, and I think we could maybe build. We could just go with the 3 and 3.
My only concern was that like this New England team just might be the run heaviest team in the NFL. I know like with Mac Jones, you'd like to think that they're going to pass the ball more, but I feel like everything about their team kind of dictates that they're going to be a slow defensive first run team. Whereas like the New York Giants might just have no choice but to be, a 68% pass rate team.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Pats are going to be very run heavy. I do think, though, with Mac Jones, I think it signals that they do want to add in way more of the pass element than they had last year. I mean, they did the most extreme version of that last year with Cam Newton and no vertical game. And Bill Belichick was like, hell no, I hate rookies, but I will start a rookie quarterback so I don't have to deal with that shit again.
Bro, yeah, that's so disrespectful. I wonder if Cam's going to end up signing anywhere.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay.
What he's thinking here. Let's check in on. Yeah,
we can literally just scoop up the entire AFC East right here.
We could. I think we can get to. So we have rounds. We have 4 more picks. We could probably get away with 2 more QBs, 1 more wide receiver, 1 more tight end if we want to get to the 3 quarterbacks, 3 tight ends because of our bye weeks, and then get up to 8 wide receivers and then just rock the 4 running backs.
Have you ever done a 3 quarterback, 3 tight end build?
I have. Yeah. Not in this exact situation. I do agree that we don't have to get 3 tight ends. I think the 3 quarterbacks would be the priority.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, let's grab let's grab Mac Jones then.
Just to lock it up.
Yeah. He's the next one on the board. So if someone else is going there are a lot of teams in here with 3 quarterbacks. It's kind of surprising. I feel like people draft 3 quarterbacks just to, like once you're done with your draft and it shows you the projected points for your team. Yeah. It's like the more quarterbacks you have, the higher your projected points are. And I feel like people just do that. I love this is the time of the year where you get all those questions like Yahoo told me that my projected points total is the lowest in the league. Like, what the fuck, man? I'm like,
I know that the grades, people get so tilted about the grades.
That's a fucking dub. If Yahoo tells you you're going to do bad, you're probably set up for a monster year.
Honestly, Underdog probably should. They do the points, but they should just have a little algo that spits out the grade because people get so triggered and just start so much like no one posts there like, oh, underdogs projecting me for this amount of points. But if it's a D+ next to my teams, like it would get people so triggered.
That's fair. Yeah, that would be great. They have so much to like build on social wise, platform wise. I just wish Rudman, if he's in here, would just listen to us sometimes.
Yeah, Rudman, again, Jack doing his little snapback airdrops. We need our private avatars, man.
We're not going to stop harassing you until we get it.
And we don't have the courage to do it one-on-one in DMs or a phone call. We're cowardly doing it on live streams.
We're blasting you in public. Everybody, please tweet at Nick Rudman. I think is he at Nick Rudman or is he at just tweet at Underdog Fantasy and tell him that we want our damn Abbies.
You'll see it.
Wait, someone's got the snapback Jack in here. Did you see that? 7 Costanza?
I think I have it on in here.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, you do?
Well, Jack said that there would be some prize, and so I was like, all right, I'll be a rent seeker here and try to get this prize. Okay, so let's kind of check our plan here. We don't need 3 tight ends. I think we're definitely we should probably think about who our third quarterback would be. I don't mind. I think we could probably even wait on. Let's see. Do we still have a Giants thing that we could set up with Daniel Jones?
We could probably get like Darius Slayton, but I don't really know if I want to make that pick.
Yeah. Yeah. So now it's more just about like setting up what we want to do here. What are you thinking?
Do you want to stack that last last quarterback with a wide receiver? Because honestly, I'd be fine taking. I like De'Ami Brown a lot. I don't like Curtis Samuel, like still coming back from a hamstring injury. He could be the number 2 there.
Yeah, I like Miami a lot. And then for the third quarterback, I do think Bridgewater makes a ton of sense. Not only do we have Judy, but we also have Javonte Williams. So just like kind of closing the loop on that Broncos bet.
Yeah, I'm fine with that Denver offense too.
Yeah.
I do feel that like Drew Lock is going to get another shot on the field though this year. I can't imagine they just like throw him in onto the bench and then he's just done forever. Like I was surprised that they let Teddy take the job. I was surprised that they didn't at least let Drew Lock like start the year, let him do shitty for like 4 games, and then let Teddy rip for the rest of the season. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting because I do agree that based on how they were talking about training camp, it sounded like it was a legitimate camp battle where it could have been either of them getting named the starter. I feel like Teddy's probably less likely to give up the job just because he won't be awful. He won't be transcendent, but he won't be awful. Whereas Drew Lock, he could either just be incredible out of the gate and go on a hot streak, or he could be so bad that he gets yanked by the first half.
Yeah, that's fair. Like we've seen Super Bowl teams like have really subpar play getting him there, and I feel like Teddy Bridgewater is almost low key like the perfect quarterback for Denver, just because they're gonna have a really good defense this year. They have an incredible receiver group. They have a good duo of running backs. They have a good they have every piece in place for a quarterback just not to fuck up and still be able to take them far.
Yeah. Right. I agree. And it is one, I feel like Tua is definitely way more exciting than Bridgewater, and there's way more unknowns about what Tua could be. But I think they're similar in that they're pretty loaded positional groups. Like they have these weapons that could really elevate them and make them far more enticing, fantasy plays than where they're being drafted.
Yeah, and I feel like with Tua, the weapons that they added are kind of dictating how he's going to play, right? Like you don't add Will Fuller, you don't add Jalen Waddle unless you're playing down the field, right? Yep. So it's like it's not going to be a dump off guy, which is why I think he has a lot more upside than people are kind of giving him credit for. There goes.
Seriously, what are you doing here,
Mezzo? There's no reason.
Did it? God, why are you doing this?
What a fucking asshole!
Why are you doing this to stack with Melvin?
I know
Gordon?
Why. The Teddy Bridgewater, Melvin Gordon stack,
the classic stack,
undefeated in best ball tournaments.
All right, back to the drawing board here. Let's see what other quarterbacks we could. Holy cow, dude! I have never seen it wiped out this bad.
Do we take Jimmy G?
Holy cow! I think you're right. I think it's Jared Goff or Jimmy G.
Yeah, I would rather just gamble on Jimmy G, to be honest.
Or like the chat said, we could rock with your instinct and bet on Drew Lock taking over by week 14 when we need that bye.
Oh fuck, that's a tough position. I don't want to bet on Drew Lock.
Okay, Jimmy.
One of these guys is the starter. One of these guys is not.
You know what? I'm actually glad we did this because I have a ton of Trey Lance, and there are still scenarios where Jimmy Garoppolo plays a lot this season.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, we're betting again. Like, what if Trey Lance somehow just doesn't get onto the field this year?
I don't even want to contemplate it, but it is something that could happen.
Well, there's like the beginning of the San Francisco schedule really easy. They hit this period from weeks like 6 to 10 where it's rough. It's like really rough 3 out of 4 games. And then weeks 11 through 17 are just absolute like cake matchups week over week over week for the offense. So it's like if he can survive and they could play really, really well, which they should because they're a great fucking team, Jimmy G could stay on the field for long. Plus, like in a tournament like this where people are obviously betting on upside and they're betting on guys like Trey Lance, you can get that big advantage if Jimmy G does stay on the field.
Yeah, no, I agree, Doom. It's unlikely that Jimmy Garoppolo is the starter in week 14. I'm still not super concerned about the 25 points or whatever there. This team's either a smash or it's not. I think you can debate the Garoppolo pick. There were no good options like on the board. Like I'd rather just play that stack since we made an investment in Ayuk, and I'm glad you pointed that out. So, and who knows? Injuries happen, shit happens. We still like this 49ers offense. Even without Lance, I'm still excited about it in some of these guys.
Yeah, I feel like just the weapons in themselves give Jimmy G a ceiling too, even though he doesn't have a ceiling as a player. Are we done with running back? Because I'm going to be honest, like
I want you to get your fifth running back. I know you don't want to leave this draft without the fifth.
No, I don't at all.
Who do you like?
I like Carlos Hyde.
Let's just gross this up. I mean, how can you not finish a draft with Jimmy Garoppolo and Carlos Hyde? Let's do it.
Let's go. I just feel like Carlos Hyde is going to end up like rushing for 8 touchdowns this year.
He probably will. Urban Meyer, I guarantee you Urban Meyer falls asleep at night thinking about giving Carlos Hyde 15 carries a game.
Me and him both.
He absolutely will not be able to resist. This was a weird draft in definitely some quirks with our kind of bye week issues, but overall, I love the structure of this team. One of the reasons I legitimately like doing drafts with other people is because I get in autopilot mode. I was talking with Bime4 about this yesterday. I just do the same things reflexively over and over. And it's nice to get different textures of teams.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's a lot of times I realize, like, I'm glad Underdog has the exposure button because you see it and you're just like, oh, dude, I drafted the same 52. Every time you're in round 8, you're like, I either want this guy or this guy. And you never, ever diversify to the other dudes in the drafts. And then you look back at the end of the year like, I was a fucking idiot. And those are the guys that popped off around 6, 7, or 8. I don't have any of them.
That's right. All right. Recap this team for us here. I know you pushed me outside my comfort zone. I pushed you outside your comfort zone, but I think we landed on a pretty nice team here.
Dude, I really like it. Yeah, I mean, maybe the ends, the breads of this sandwich were a little bit moldy, but inside it was pretty sexy. Devontae, Joe Mixon, Allen Robinson, Ayuk, Jerry Jeudy, Javonte Williams, Chase Edmonds, Will Fuller, Jalen Waddle, Jacoby Myers, Mike Gesicki, Tua, James White, Hunter Henry, Mac Jones, De'Ami Brown, Jimmy G, Carlos Hyde. I really don't think we missed a pick from rounds like 1 through 9.
Yeah, I think that broke really nicely for us. Apparently, we are rooting for a ton of AFC East shootouts this year because we are very heavy on Dolphins and the Patriots here.
I mean, where we live, we could realistically just go to every single AFC East game if we wanted to.
That is very true. That is very true. How many games do you end up going to many Jets games or Giants?
I haven't been to a Jets game in probably like 10 years, but I go to a decent amount of Giants games because all my friends are Giants fans and they are like gates. 4:00 game, gates open at 8 a.m. We're there at 7:55 a.m. So like the tailgate is a really, really good time. I'm going to miss the first week. They're all going to be there. Animal's favorite team is the Broncos.
Yeah.
So he will be there for week 1, but then week 3, my team, the Falcons, come to New York, New Jersey to play. So I'll be there week 3, and then I'll probably catch another game or two. What we want to do, we want to end up like renting a camper or van or something and just like throwing it into one of our videos. Like, hey, does anyone have season tickets at some, whatever random ass stadium and just kind of take a trip out there, let us like me, Snacks, and Animal kind of crash on the couch or some shit and go to the game. I would love to hit like 3 or 4 different weekends like that.
Dude, that'd be so fun. What is I forget what is Animal's current take on the Broncos QB situation? I forget what his take in Miami was. Rodgers is going to be a Bronco.
Well, it was Rodgers is going to be a Bronco locked in. There's zero uncertainty about it. And then it was locked in. Deshaun Watson is the charges are going to be dropped and he's going to be a Bronco. No uncertainty about it. And now he wanted Drew Lock. He wanted upside at quarterback. And then now he's all in on Teddy. So it's been a tumultuous road for Animal.
So what you're telling me is Animal has had 5 different QB takes over the past 3 months.
Wait. Last night, so for our big home league, we were trying to decide what we wanted to do for our draft order. Our draft's coming up on Monday. So we were like, okay, let's do a Royal Rumble on one of the WWF video games. And all of us are represented by a different wrestler. So we set it up where we had the Royal Rumble going. And Animal, since he was last place last year, got first pick of what wrestler he wanted. So he picked Randy Orton. And the Royal Rumble starts. And like the Royal Rumble, you start with 2 wrestlers or whatever. And like a new guy comes in every 30 seconds or a minute or whatever. And based on like last man standing is what you get to pick your draft order. And that Animal's dude, Randy Orton, comes running in. He immediately slides into the fucking ring and then jumps over to the rope and then gets punched right out of the Royal Rumble. It was completely randomized. There was no like extra effects going on. His dude and we were streaming it on Twitch, so like everybody was watching it. His dude just slides in, immediately jumps over the rope, and immediately gets punched right out of the ring.
That's hilarious. Incredible. That's Animal's luck. That's his lot in life.
Well, Randy Orton was like, "Yo, dog, you went 1-13 last year. You don't deserve anything. You deserve nothing." Oh, are we spinning right now?
Oh yeah, crap. Hey, God, I meant to shuffle this one. I pulled it off. I wanted to do the shuffle. I don't need the conspiracy theorists out. This is how they do it. All right, we're gonna get back here. This is for this Underdog hat. This is the final giveaway. Maybe we can talk to Underdog, see if they'll allow us to do some more of these going forward. But as of now, the 12 days of best ball, the 12 hat giveaways are coming to an end. Good luck to everyone. Thank you for hanging out with us 12 straight days. I mean, no one should have to listen to me talk about fantasy for 12 straight days, and you guys did it. We got DJ. There we go. Congratulations, DJ. You have won an Underdog hat. I'm going to get Nick hooked up. What I need to do, Nick, I'm going to send you I need to send you a randomizer box, and we'll get you an influencer randomizer box with a hat in there.
Are you sure I have enough followers to be an influencer? Those are the reports floating around Twitter over the last couple of days.
Yeah, Carlini, he was follower shaming you.
Put me on blast. Yeah. And then he sent me that fucking cat though.
Do you like your cat? Do you like the cats?
I like the cat. Yeah, sure. I like it as much as I can like a cartoon cat, I guess.
There you go. You'll come around. Just keep it under the pillow for a rainy day, and you'll wake up one day and be like, "Holy shit, this thing's now worth $23,000, and it was a gift to be on Twitter." What a world!
I love NFTs, bro. I can't buy anything because the gas fees are constantly so high. What is wrong with everybody?
It's so stupid right now. It's out of control. It's very cost prohibitive. It's just like let's mint something for $50 that cost me $250 to just pay the gas. It's sad. Outrageous. Imagine if Underdog was like, okay, to enter this $25 tournament, you need to pay us $100 in a processing fee. That's what it is.
Yeah. We'd still do it, but
we'd be upset. Nick, what else you got going on here as we sprint toward the season?
Nothing, man. I got my drafts coming up this weekend. It's MDW, so I'm probably gonna be off the marks for the rest of the foreseeable future. But we'll be throwing up clickbait titles and thumbnails over on my YouTube channel for the rest of the week as well as into the season. Just fantasy content, some vlogs, all that fun shit.
Awesome. Yeah. Check out all the stuff going on over at Nick's channel. We got his Twitter down below. Please follow him on Twitter so he gets up to a suitable amount of followers that Carlini feels comfortable with giving him an influencer. FF Doom, is there a promo code for the randomizer box right now? Yes, promo code Pete will still get you free shipping. That's $10 off your shipping. So again, it's a $50 box. You get free shipping. It comes with a $25 Underdog code. So now the rest of the box is costing you $25 total. Includes all the drinking gear. You got your koozies. You got your coasters. Please just buy the rest of these so I can ship them all out before the season starts and I can stop shilling them. I'm begging you people. All right, Nick. thank you again for hanging out. We will rendezvous in Miami to sweat this team down the stretch. Thank you for tuning in all 12 days of best ball. I'm going to do a draft with Spags at 2 p.m. and then I am out for the weekend. I will see you guys on Tuesday. Peace.